This video is an introduction to angles. There are some angles that you should already know. The first one is a right angle. This is like the corner of a piece of paper or the corner of a picture frame. It measures 90 degrees. An obtuse angle measures more than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. So the dotted lines here, the one that goes up is 90 degrees, and the one that goes straight across is 180 degrees. So an obtuse angle is somewhere in between there. An acute angle measures less than 90 degrees, so it's smaller than a right angle. It's acute angle. A straight angle is the same thing as a straight line. It measures exactly 180 degrees. Okay. So let's talk about some new angle vocabulary. Some of these you may have already heard before. Right? The first one is adjacent angles. Adjacent means next to. So these angles are going to be next to each other. Okay? In geometry, this means that they share one of their sides. Okay, so here's two adjacent angles. Okay, we have angle A and an angle B. They both share that side on the inside, and so therefore they're adjacent or neighboring angles. Okay, our next vocabulary term is supplementary angles. Supplementary add up to 180 degrees. Okay, when they're made into adjacent angles so that they share a side, they make a straight line. Okay, so here's two angles that are supplementary angles. Okay, let's see what happens when we make them into adjacent angles. Okay, so as you can see, when we put them together, we end up with a straight line across the bottom. So therefore, these two angles are supplementary angles. Complementary angles are sort of the same thing, but this time they only add up to 90 degrees. They make a right angle. Okay, so we have these two angles. When we slide them together to make adjacent angles, they'll make a right angle. Okay, so complementary angles add up to 90 degrees. Vertical angles are made by two intersecting lines. They're the opposite angles. Okay? Vertical angles are always congruent to each other, meaning that they're equal in measure. Okay, so if we have these two intersecting lines, take a second to think about which two are your vertical angles. Okay, A and C are vertical angles, and D and B are vertical angles. So what comes up? Well, the next video is going to talk about transversals. You're going to learn what a transversal is. You're also going to learn what you can do with some of this vocabulary. So you need to make sure that you know what these words are. You shouldn't have to look them up all the time. You should know supplementary adds up to 180. Complementary adds up to 90. Vertical angles are opposite each other. These are just things that you should just ingrain into you.